Hey there. Are you overwhelmed with searching for jobs? Let me help you out. Today, we're going to be talking about Indeed tips, and some of these tips can actually flow into other platforms, but I'm going to be specifically referencing Indeed when talking about this. So, if you are just overwhelmed with your search for a new job and you're like, I don't know where to start. I feel like I'm getting too many people bombarding me. There's too many jobs out there. Where in the heck do I start to find a job that is suitable for me? First, I'm going to say, write down your pros and cons. What are some things that you really want out of a job? And write that down. Those are some things that you might be able to search for. So let's say if you want a 9 to 5 or a daytime or Monday through Friday, you don't want to work weekends, you don't want to work night shifts, whatever, you can actually go into Indeed and search just for that information. You can actually search just for virtual as well. And with that, you can help start to narrow it down. Hopefully you'll know what kind of category you want to go into or what kind of field you want to go into. Hopefully you've already got that nailed down. That's for another day if we want to talk about that. If you want to talk about that, make sure to drop it in the comment. Hit a like and a subscribe if you're ready as well. If not, then we'll wait to the end. That's okay too. So first go and search the different aspects of a job that you are looking for. Use those filters to your advantage. And then when you're going through that, so that you don't get bombarded by all of these jobs searching for resumes, because on our side, as a recruitment person that I am, I can go and search dental assistant, and I can search everybody in the area within a certain radius that is dental assistant, and I can find you that way. If you don't want to be searched, then just make sure that your resume is private. There's a button in there that you can click so that you're private, and people won't be able to bombard you with all of this. And actually, you can go and find the position that you want versus them finding you, which is can be a double-ended sword, because you might not always see what they have to offer. They may be a little bit flexible and they didn't click the button that says 9 to 5 or a daytime or whatever. So just know that ahead of time if you are eliminating your name from the pool, if you will. But I will tell you that will be a great idea to remove your name if you don't want to be just bombarded. This also makes it so that your employer can't see you if you leave your name off from it, because as recruiters, we're able to go in and search anybody with, let's say if somebody's worked at Meijer or Publix. A lot of people both know Publix. If I go in and I search everybody that has worked for Publix, obviously that's a big company and they can look for you. But if you are working for a smaller company, that will come up as well, and so your name will show on there. And it actually shows us when you updated it. So if you recently updated it and you've been there for 3 years, then we're going to assume that you're looking for a new position, and somebody in HR, your boss, your manager, somebody might talk to you. So just be aware of that we can see that on our end as well. And I will say that if you don't have experience, but you're applying to a position, it will behoove you to not put extra years. So for example, I'll say, like I said, for dental assistant, if I want a dental assistant that has been a dental assistant for more than 2 years and it is a deal breaker, obviously you have to put the 2 years on there in order for me to see it. Now, if you've worked in a warehouse, you might not ever, we're just going to hit the red X probably. But if you've worked as a medical assistant or a CNA, then tell me a little bit more about why you want this. So you can send us a private cover letter that is addressed just to us, or send a message that is addressed just to us. And you can tell us why you're interested. You can say, something along the lines of, I've always been interested in dental, and I have done X amount of hours of research. I have job shadowed for 5 total days, 2 total days. I have a best friend in dental, and I have a cousin in dental and I am super intrigued by teeth. I've always loved going to the dentist. Saying all of those things in your cover letter can really help you actually be seen, because a lot of times right now, employers are actually looking for more of a personality than experience a lot of times. And if you showcase that you're actually a little bit more interested than the guy next door, you have more of an opportunity to actually get seen by that recruiter or by the hiring manager. So that's another really good way that you can actually get in front and they don't just hit that red X and say that you're unqualified. Now, on my side, the cover letter goes all the way to the bottom. And if somebody's just kind of in a hurry, they might not see it. Another way that you can do it, it doesn't actually have a title on my side, what I can see for resumes, but it's like your name and then directly underneath of that. So basically like the subject line. That's where you can also put in some of that information. That also shows me that, yeah, you've been a medical assistant or you've been a CNA, but this is the field that you're wanting to go into, because that's the resume that everybody sees, that you're looking for dental. Make sure that it's known ahead of time that this is what you want. Also, if a recruiter or a hiring manager seeks you out, you can send them a message and say, thank you so much for reaching out to me. This is the reasons why I'm actually transitioning from medical into dental, or medical into chiropractic, or ophthalmology, or whatever. You've already got that medical background, and transitioning into a segment of that medical background could be super beneficial, could be super helpful for you. I hope that those tips will help you. I will also recommend for you to search the company before you actually apply to the company. There's nothing worse than seeing, oh, this job will pay me $30 an hour even to start out, or $20 an hour even to start out, when right now you only make 15 or whatever. There's nothing worse than talking to a hiring manager that is actually hiring for a really crappy company, or an HR person that's hiring for a crappy company. You don't know how long that person in HR has been there, and you don't know if they're just kind of trying to toot their horn to make it seem like they are a better company than what they really are. I will absolutely recommend you to copy their name and paste it. And if it's like a chain, or if it's a big company, always make sure to put the not necessarily the address, but the city, dependent on what kind of a position you are looking at, if it's a chain or not. If it's not a chain and it's Dr. Eldaman dentist office, whatever, and then in Lansing, Michigan. Put that information in, look at the reviews ahead of time. This is looking at the reviews is another aspect that you can say in your interview or in your cover letter. I saw that you have a lot of really great reviews about your company, and these are some of the things that I really liked about the reviews themselves. This is why I'm interested in working for your company, because of these reviews. And if you wanted to go to the website itself, if they have like an About Me section, or Meet the Team section, something along those lines, that could be a really great start for you to even pull some of that information and put that into your cover letter. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, Wendy, this is going to take way too long. I don't have time for that crap. In my opinion, you don't have time not to do that crap. There's also some areas on Indeed that I found out you can actually look at the reviews that way. I will preface that by saying that there's a lot of things that are happening within any market right now, that if you are in, let's say if the manager was the problem and that's who is being complained about in the reviews, if there's a name, then take that name and ask the person about, do you have this, do you still have this manager? Make sure that you've got their name. And you can honestly say, on Indeed, I see that you've got some reviews, And can you tell me a little bit more about it? If they don't know about the reviews, then they may ask, or you could tell them, you know, this is what I see on my side. Could you explain? But also remember, I'm sure you probably know, but if somebody's got a bad review, that bad review is probably because of one employee that got hired in and then they got fired, or they weren't told the expectations that they needed, which in that case, all you need is clarification. Get it in writing, what you're going to be doing, what your job duties are, and what your titles are, and ask that, you know, within 1 week of them saying, so like if you quit your job, say, within 1 week, I really need to have this information. Otherwise, I may just have to continue seeking jobs elsewhere, because I really am an advocate to make sure that I know my position. Now, that also should be followed up by saying something along the lines of, I'm a team player and I'm willing to do whatever it is that you need. I just need a rough draft or a rough outline of the tasks that I might be asked of. And then if you get into the position and they ask you to do extra things, you can say something along the lines of, this wasn't on my duties list. Is it okay if I learn everything on my duties list first before I get to do something else that's not on the list? Now, you might want to be a little cautious on that and choose your words wisely. If you need help with that, drop it in the comments. I'm happy to try to do another video, explain what's happening, and I'll do my best to be able to help you out. But I think with those tips, these tips that I've given you today, these 3 or 4 tips that I've given you, I think can really help you out in trying to not be so overwhelmed with job searches. Oh, one last thing that I wanted to tell you about. I will always recommend to also have a Google Docs or Sheets, or email yourself or whatever. So let's say if you're driving, which I made a video about this a while ago. If you're driving and you get a phone call and you answer it and you say, hi, that's okay. A lot of hiring managers and recruiters are kind of used to that like standoffish tone because there's so many scammers out there. We get it. Just make sure to follow up and say, I'm so sorry, I didn't recognize the number, and I'm sure that they'll be fine with it. If you get a phone call that you don't know is going to be coming in, and you're driving, I would absolutely recommend for you to say, oh, thanks for the call. Could you hold on just a moment? Put them on hold, pull over to the side of the road, bring up your notes about the company, and like all of your notes, the information that you've got, the information that you've recorded about the company, when did you apply, have that all of that information in a Google Doc or in a spreadsheet, and then hit the unhold, the play, whatever it's called, and say, I'm so sorry, I wanted to pull over and bring up my information about the company so that we're on the same page. If I can tell you, if I get someone's 100% dedication for the 20 minutes I'm going to be talking to you versus the navigation in the background or the driving in the background, I don't want to have to feel like I'm going to accidentally get somebody into an accident just by me talking to you. You know, just be really cautious about this. So if you can do that and you give them your dedicated attention, I promise you it's going to go so much further than you driving and talking on the phone. Now, I know that that's not feasible for everybody in every situation, but you can also say, I'm also to my destination. Could I please schedule another time to talk with you, but make sure that you write it down. Please, Jesus, make sure you write it down someplace. Text it to yourself, put it in your calendar, whatever you've got to do to make a mental note so that you actually answer the phone that next time. I can go over this in another video, but I'd like to just quickly brief you. I can reach out to 400 different people for one position. If I contact 400 different people, I might talk to 200 of them, and I'll leave a voicemail for the other 200. For those 200 people that I leave a voicemail to, I would say probably 10 to 20% actually reach me back. And the first half that I actually get an opportunity to talk to, I'd probably say about half of those people actually will say that they're interested, or they haven't found a job, or whatever. So basically, we are down to 100 people out of 400 people already just off the bat. Out of those 100 people, to go from the phone interview to the Zoom interview, I would say probably 30% plus, 30 to 40% of people will actually no-show to their Zoom interview. From their Zoom interview, if you get to meet the team members, or you get to go to the third interview, or you get to go into the office, probably one person is going to get chosen. Obviously, it's probably a job listing for one. But from going from 400 people to maybe 25 people that get to meet the team members, that get to meet the office, or 15 people, whatever it is, that is a huge difference. So even if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you know that it's going to be a good company from what you see, if you go from applying to actually meeting the office, it is a drastic drop of people, because you get so many no-shows right now, and people just won't answer you back. So there's a huge opportunity that you actually can get in front of the team members, meet the team, ask more individualized questions and stuff like that. I will say that is a humongous tip. And if you just follow up with them, like if you get to go and meet the team, and if you're able to ask them, when are you going to make your decision? If they say, we'll reach you back in 7 days, then on the 8th day, if you haven't heard anything, just shoot them an email or a text or an Indeed message, whatever, and just say, hey, I know that yesterday was 7 days. I just wanted to follow up. Holy crap. The people that do that to me are like golden nuggets, because it's so infrequent that it happens. So if you just take those extra few steps, I promise you, you are going to be so much better off by doing that than by just thinking, oh, it's not going to be a good company. I'm not going to be good enough. They're going to have too many other candidates with more experience. Right now, we are mostly interested in the personality. So if you show yourself as hungry, humble, and smart, which is there's a book on that, those 3 attributes are some of the biggest attributes that you can forecast and showcase to the hiring manager or the recruiter. And by having those 3 attributes, I can almost promise you're going to be able to meet the team almost every single time. If you need help with that, feel free to comment below, or send me a message on Facebook, or send me an email, and I'd be happy to work with you one-on-one. I do coaching calls as well. I want to be able to help you get into the job that you're looking for, and let's see if we can make it happen. I think that was a total of 5 tips. I wish you the very best. I really hope that since you've listened to this entire thing, that you're going to land that dream job within a short amount of time. The job market right now is absolutely insane. I wish you the best of luck. And again, if you just follow some of these simple steps, you will really have a great chance, a great opportunity to actually work at that company. Good luck.